I'm Laura Harrison. Today on the Now Tampa Bay, we're just getting in this picture of an innocent woman caught in gunfire and killed in Tampa Heights. Now, we just finished talking to police about what they plan on doing to catch the young people responsible and take back this neighborhood. Updating you now on two extreme weather situations happening. First, breaking today, 14 people are now dead as West Virginia is dealing with the devastating flooding, some of the worst they have ever seen. The governor says it's among the worst in a century in parts of that state. He says search and rescue missions are the top priority right now. The sheriff saying it's complete chaos with roads destroyed, roads out. You see people trying to drive. They can't do it. The storm system dumping 9 inches of rain on parts of the state just yesterday. You see those cars flooded out there. And then a completely different extreme happening in Bakersfield, California right now. The fire chief is calling this a firefight of epic proportions. So far, this fast-moving blaze has destroyed around 100 structures, and another 1,500 more are threatened right now. Wendy Jamison, it's something that I can't even really put into words for you. We're on one of those block streets right now. This is Orange Avenue and Grant Street. Behind my camera guy and some of our producers right now, you just see people standing there waiting, trying to get a little bit more information. Right over my shoulder, though, just about 4 blocks down the road on the left side of the street is where that nightclub is. You see the sheriff's office, you see the FBI, all kinds of emergency personnel set up out there just trying to figure out exactly what happened inside of this nightclub last night. I want to show you some video that we shot a little bit earlier today, though. This video showing so many people deciding to go out and make these memorials in different places in Orlando. Facebook even activating their safety check earlier today. That's basically where you can log onto Facebook if you're in the Orlando area or anywhere around it and tell your friends that you are okay. Some of my friends even checking in on that earlier today to let us know that they were doing all right. All of this reportedly at the hands of this 29-year-old. That's according to the FBI. My colleague Lauren Rosella is here on the ground in Orlando right now with more on that man.
We begin with our Laura Harris anchoring our live team coverage from Orlando tonight. Laura?
Jamison, Wendy, still very, very somber out here. And what's interesting to me is we got out here about 3 o'clock this afternoon. There are still people waiting outside of this crime scene tape, just hoping that they get a little bit more information. Still state authorities, local authorities, ATF, the FBI down there, just about 4 blocks behind us where that nightclub is right now. Also happening right now inside of that nightclub, they're just trying to figure out anything else they can to get a little bit more information into what might have motivated this shooter. I want to show you some pictures, though. This is what we were getting in just a short time ago. These pictures showing that large hole that's in the side of that nightclub. Well, early this morning, the SWAT team breaking through the outside wall of the building to rescue hostages and to confront the gunman inside. And while Maricela spoke with some of the victims, friends, family of the victims, we just heard out here just within the last 2 minutes that the medical examiner's office is inside Club Pulse right now, and they're having an issue trying to get their job done because all of the cell phones keep ringing inside. As you can imagine, all of these family members still trying to figure out if one of their loved ones is among the dead. We got a chance to speak with a young man earlier today who tells us he was actually working with one of the first victims whose name was announced as one of the people who had died in that shooting. So let me tell you about where we are right now. We're on the corner of Orange Avenue and Grant Street. That's where a lot of people are gathering right now because this is the crime scene tape. You can't go past here, and there's about a 4-block radius where they have shut everything down. So the nightclub is about 4 blocks away from us. And then that tall building you see out in the distance about 6 to 7 blocks down that way, that's the hospital. That's where many family members, friends have been waiting all day long to get some information about who may have been in that club, who may have been injured. Again, we only have 8 names confirmed, so you can imagine dozens of families still wondering, where's my family member? ABC Action News reporter Ryan Raish was at the hospital earlier today, got a chance to speak with a man from Lakeland who said he talked to us right after his son got out of surgery. Ryan? I'm Laura Harrison. We're following breaking news right now, just coming into the ABC Action newsroom. St. Petersburg police just telling us a 3-year-old girl has been hurt in a drive-by shooting. That shooting happening just minutes ago at a home on 10th Avenue South. Wendy, San Bernardino, the hashtag, is the #1 trending hashtag on Twitter right now across the country. Pictures like these, so many people just trying to share exactly what they're seeing. Look at the concern in these people's faces. As you can imagine, 14 people dead, 14 others injured. When we're looking here, we'll just take a look at kind of where exactly this was happening at. This is San Bernardino in relation to Los Angeles. And also here's that Inland Regional Center. People saying that there were a lot of people in the building at one time. Sometimes in any day there could be 400 to 500 people is what some people were tweeting. And I also want to show you this video. So we talk about this was a facility for people with developmental disabilities. Well, check out this video. This was shot just about 24 hours ago. In that facility, they were having their holiday party. This was a tweet from that event. So you can just imagine the horror and the people who were in there at the time just trying to receive assistance. And this is what they had to deal with today. Again, we're following a lot of what you're talking about right now. We've even tweeted out a phone number that the police want you to use if you have any information about what may have happened today. They're asking people across the country to give them that assistance. We're, of course, all the time on Twitter. You can find us right now at ABC Action News. Just moments ago, we saw Pope Francis come right out of that airplane just behind us, and you see all of these people over here so excited to see him here in Cuba. You know, this excitement has been building for months now as they've been preparing for the Pope to come. And as we were driving to the airport, you could see people lining the streets, hundreds of people who had camped out for we have no idea how long, just to make sure that they got a glimpse of the Pope. He is supposed to be making some trips, making some stops throughout the day. We also heard from President Raul Castro. He had a lot to say just before the Pope came up to the podium, just basically saying he really did agree with all of the changes the Pope has been trying to put forth, and he really does appreciate how this Pope has been trying to help with relations between the United States and Cuba. Truly an exciting atmosphere out here. When we first saw the Pope landing, I mean, it nearly erupted. It was almost like a rock star had made it to Cuba, and that's how these people are describing him. As they say, a Pope of the people. You can catch much more coming up as Pope Francis will be in Cuba through next Tuesday. We'll be here for all of that, as well as the U.S. leg of the trip. In Havana, I'm Laura Harris. Back to you. Lindsay, we've been following the Pope since he was in Cuba, then we went to Washington, D.C., and now we're in New York City, and I have not seen anything like this. Listen to these numbers. 6,000 extra police officers in the city right now. They have shut down 83 city blocks. That's 10 miles of road. All of this for 8,000 people who are inside of Central Park right now, all of them waiting for this historic moment. Yeah, and rent is so high in Manatee and Sarasota counties, many young people now say they may be forced to leave. ABC Action News reporter Lauren Rosella is finding out what steps these counties are taking to keep these talented workers here. Tampa's residential garbage rates have skyrocketed over the past 5 years after the city council approved millions of dollars in rate increases to keep up with those rising costs. But as I-Team investigator Adam Walzer discovered, some of the money you're paying is going to employees just sitting around on the job. Starting with simply packing your lunch. Photog Preston and I, we both do that every day. Producer Ashley, on the other hand, how many times a week do you eat out?
3 times.
And how much money do you usually spend?
About $7.
She said 3 times a week, $7 a day. That's, I don't know, $21, right? Well, then you times that by 4 weeks in a month. She's spending $84 on lunch alone. Maybe you could add an automatic draft to your checking account. You could just open up a savings account, add an automatic draft, and then the bank usually tells you maybe it's like $25 a month. Well, if you do that all year, you've saved $300 and not even thought about it. And here's one of our faves. You could just download apps that are free onto your phone, Android, Apple device, it doesn't matter, and they actually give you coupons to places around town. Coupons at the grocery store, restaurants, and other retailers simply by syncing your loyalty cards. And ladies, let's take a look at our makeup. I'll tell you why. This exact same color that I use on the air all the time, I get it for $6 at the grocery store. The same color in the mall is $30. I've posted this really cool article. Now to some super-sized money. We're talking Super Bowl tickets, something way out of anyone I know league. But this is pretty cool. I want to show you something. 1967, the first Super Bowl, right? Let's check and see how much that ticket was. $12. Kansas City, Green Bay. That's pretty cool. So in 76, it went up a little. Not too much though, just $20 a ticket. How about this one? So we go to the 90s, Super Bowl 25. It was $150 for a ticket. And then there was this, the iconic Super Bowl 50. Are you kidding me? $5,217. Right now, the state of Florida is keeping a close eye on the Zika virus, as we now have 14 cases across the state, 3 of them right here in Hillsborough County. The Surgeon General saying he will now be sending daily updates on the virus beginning on Monday. Well, it's a decision many pregnant mothers are dealing with right now. Do you continue with your planned vacation if it's in a Zika-infested region, or do you just cancel it altogether and then risk losing your money you spent?